9 Daily Habits for Stroke Prevention. Essential tips for seniors to safeguard brain health. Stroke is one of the leading causes of death and disability worldwide. But did you know many strokes can be prevented? If you or a loved one are a senior, protecting your brain health is one of the most important things you can do. Hello and welcome to our channel. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our health tips designed to help you live a longer, healthier life. Today, we're going to talk about something crucial: stroke prevention. Today, we'll explore 9 simple yet powerful daily habits that can protect your brain from stroke. But before we dive in, let's first understand what a stroke is and why prevention is so important. A stroke occurs when the blood supply to part of the brain is interrupted. There are 2 main types of stroke: ischemic, caused by a blockage in the arteries supplying blood to the brain, and hemorrhagic, caused by a rupture of blood vessels in the brain. Both types can lead to severe brain damage, disability, and even death. But by adopting healthy habits, we can reduce the risk of stroke and live longer, more fulfilling lives. Ready to take control of your brain health? Let's jump into the 9 daily habits that can make a big difference. Tip number 1. Stay hydrated. Water is brain medicine. It sounds simple. Drink more water. But for seniors, dehydration is a silent danger. Unlike younger adults, older adults don't always feel thirsty, even when their body desperately needs fluid. Why? Because the sensation of thirst diminishes with age. And when that signal weakens, so does our awareness of it. Dehydration doesn't just make you feel tired. It affects every organ, including your brain. And here's the truth most people don't realize. Mild dehydration can shrink your brain. That's right. MRI studies have shown that even 2% dehydration can cause brain tissue to contract, impairing memory, focus, and mood. For seniors, this is even more dangerous. It raises blood pressure, thickens the blood, and increases the risk of blood clots. And blood clots? They're the #1 cause of ischemic strokes, the most common kind. Water acts like a river in your body. It carries nutrients, flushes out toxins, and keeps your blood flowing smoothly. When you're well hydrated, blood pressure stays stable, blood vessels stay flexible, the heart doesn't have to work as hard, and most importantly, the brain receives the oxygen and nutrients it needs. Water also regulates electrolytes like sodium and potassium, which your brain uses to send signals. Without the right fluid balance, those signals slow down or misfire. And over time, that puts strain on your brain, raising the risk of mini strokes, confusion, and even long-term cognitive decline. Here's a simple routine you can follow daily. Drink a full glass of water right after waking. Add lemon if desired to support digestion. Eat water-rich fruits like oranges or melons. Drink a glass of water before any medication. And remember, keeping water nearby is key. Use a reusable bottle or cup that tracks your intake. Some even have alarms to remind you to drink. Tip number 2. Move daily. Gentle exercise for stronger blood flow and a healthier brain. As we age, it becomes easier to sit and stay sitting. But here's the truth. Sitting is the new smoking, especially for seniors. Research shows that just 30 minutes of movement a day can reduce your risk of stroke by nearly 35%. Why? Because movement keeps your blood thin and flowing, preventing clots from forming in your legs, arteries, or brain, the primary cause of ischemic strokes. Regular movement also reduces blood pressure, controls blood sugar, lowers LDL cholesterol, improves brain oxygenation, all of which are vital to stroke prevention. When we sit for long hours, whether watching TV, reading, or resting, our circulation slows down. Blood pools in the lower body, and over time, this raises the risk of blood clots forming. Even worse, studies show that inactivity causes faster brain aging. In fact, seniors who sit for over 10 hours a day show more brain shrinkage than those who stay active. What's happening inside your body when you move? When you walk, stretch, or even stand up and move around the house, your heart rate gently increases, your blood vessels expand, oxygen and nutrients are carried more efficiently to the brain. This prevents plaque buildup in arteries, improves neuroplasticity, and stimulates growth factors that help the brain create new connections. Exercise also helps regulate insulin, reducing your risk of diabetes, another major stroke risk. So, what kinds of movement are best for seniors? Let's go over safe, brain-boosting options. Stretch in bed or do 5 minutes of chair exercises. Take a short walk after breakfast. Do 10 minutes of standing yoga or leg lifts. March in place during TV commercials. An evening go for a relaxing walk. You don't need to run. You just need to rise and move. Tip number 3. Prioritize quality sleep. Let your brain heal while you rest. Every night when you drift into sleep, something incredible happens inside your head. Your brain begins its night shift. It clears out toxins. It repairs blood vessels. It regulates blood pressure. It balances hormones, processes memories, and restores energy. Think of sleep as your brain's daily housekeeping service. No sleep, no cleanup. And over time, that buildup can lead to inflammation, clogged arteries, high blood pressure, and stroke. Studies show that people over 60 who get less than 6 hours or more than 9 hours of poor quality sleep are at significantly higher risk of stroke. So, sleep isn't just rest. It's survival. Poor sleep doesn't just make you tired. It makes your brain vulnerable. Seniors who sleep poorly are more likely to suffer from mini strokes, silent strokes, cognitive decline, memory problems. You might be wondering, how much sleep is enough for someone my age? According to the National Sleep Foundation, seniors need 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night. But here's the catch. It's not just about hours. It's about sleep quality. Broken, shallow, or restless sleep won't give your brain the deep rest it needs to reset. Here's a step-by-step bedtime routine designed for senior brain health. 2 hours before bed, dim the lights, turn off screens, avoid news, caffeine, and sugar, gentle stretching or breathing exercises. 1 hour before bed, drink a warm, non-caffeinated herbal tea, read a calming book, or listen to soothing music. Take a warm shower or bath. At bedtime, make sure your room is cool, dark, and quiet. Use blackout curtains or a sleep mask. Try a white noise machine or soft fan. Only use your bed for sleep and rest, not watching TV or scrolling. This teaches your brain, when I lie down here, it's time to sleep. Tip number 4. Eat smart. Eat safe. Mastering stroke-safe nutrition. We often hear the phrase, you are what you eat. But what many don't realize is, your brain's health is directly tied to your diet, especially as you age. In fact, poor dietary choices are a leading cause of stroke, through high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, inflammation. All of these increase the likelihood of clots forming or blood vessels weakening. But the good news? A healthy diet can reverse that risk. Food becomes your daily medicine. No prescriptions needed. Let's break down the ideal stroke prevention diet into 5 simple categories. 1. Leafy greens, spinach, kale, collards, arugula. Help regulate blood pressure and clean arteries. 2. Berries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. Improve blood flow and reduce inflammation. 3. Healthy fats, avocados, nuts, seeds, olive oil. Contain omega-3s that reduce clotting and support brain function. 4. Whole grains, oats, quinoa, barley, brown rice. Help stabilize blood sugar and reduce cholesterol. 5. Fish, especially salmon, mackerel, sardines. Contain DHA and EPA for vascular health. Add in herbs like garlic, turmeric, and ginger, and you're feeding your brain the way nature intended. Now let's talk about what to avoid. These foods aren't just unhealthy. They're dangerous for your blood vessels. Processed meats, trans fats, sugary beverages, excess salt, white refined carbs. If you reduce these even by half, your stroke risk will begin to drop. How you eat matters just as much. Eat slowly, chewing thoroughly, sit upright. No eating lying down or while rushing. Avoid distractions like phones or TV. This helps digestion, regulates appetite, and prevents overeating, all of which protect your vascular system. Tip number 5. Manage stress mindfully, protecting your brain from the inside out. When we think of stroke risk, we often think of diet, blood pressure, or age. But here's what many people don't realize. Stress is a biological event, not just an emotional one. When you're stressed, whether it's from money worries, family conflict, or loneliness, your brain triggers a cascade of chemical reactions. Adrenaline floods your system. Cortisol levels spike, blood vessels constrict, your heart beats faster. All of this puts your arteries in a state of emergency, even if you're just sitting quietly. Chronic stress keeps this system turned on all the time until one day a blood clot forms or a vessel bursts, and the result is a stroke. Your brain under chronic stress is like a city with too much traffic. Neurons misfire. Oxygen delivery slows down. Let's talk about the opposite of stress, mindfulness. Mindfulness isn't about being a monk. It's about being present in your body and breath, aware of your emotions, and anchored in the moment, without judgment. When practiced daily, mindfulness lowers cortisol, reduces blood pressure, improves heart rate variability, increases oxygen delivery to the brain. Here are simple daily routines that double as brain and blood vessel protectors. Play calming music while cooking or cleaning. Step outside for fresh air and sunlight for 10 minutes. Laugh. Even watching a comedy can lower stress hormones. Take a tech break. Turn off screens and let your brain reset. Stress compounds in silence, but it melts when you take small, daily actions. Tip number 6. Know your numbers. The life-saving power of tracking your vitals. One of the biggest dangers to your brain isn't just high blood pressure or high blood sugar or high cholesterol. It's not knowing you have them, because stroke doesn't always come with a warning. And most people don't feel high blood pressure. They don't feel high cholesterol, but they do feel the stroke when it's already too late. That's why this habit is critical. Track your vital numbers regularly. Know them. Watch them. Use them as a map to avoid the danger ahead. The 3 numbers that matter most: blood pressure, blood sugar, and cholesterol. These numbers silently predict how strong your blood vessels are, or how close they are to bursting or blocking. You don't have to be a doctor to track your numbers. Today, it's easier than ever to keep your brain safe with home tools. For blood pressure, use an automatic cuff monitor. For cholesterol, at-home test kits are available, but best to do it through a lab or clinic for accuracy. For blood sugar, use a glucometer with finger pricks. Buy a notebook or printable log sheet. Keep records. Look for trends. What gets tracked gets improved. Tip number 7. Stay social. Stay sharp. The neuroscience of human connection. When we think of stroke prevention, we usually talk about salt, sugar, or stress. But one risk factor is often overlooked, even though it's just as dangerous as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That risk is loneliness. Yes, loneliness. Studies show that chronic loneliness and social isolation increase the risk of stroke by up to 32% in seniors. It also raises the chances of high blood pressure, depression, poor sleep, and cognitive decline. Why? Because the human brain wasn't designed for silence and isolation. It was built for connection. When we lose social bonds, through retirement, the loss of a spouse, mobility limitations, or even hearing loss, the brain begins to shrink emotionally and structurally. The human brain has built-in social circuits. Our mirror neurons fire when we see someone smile. Our oxytocin levels rise during a hug or handshake. Our prefrontal cortex sharpens when we engage in conversation. You don't need to be surrounded by dozens of people. Just one meaningful connection a day can protect your brain and lower your stroke risk. Here's a simple daily plan. We call it 5-minute social medicine. Here are 5 easy ways to build connection into your routine without overwhelming effort. 1. Attend a weekly senior center event. 2. Take a group exercise class. 3. Volunteer once a month at a church, library, or animal shelter. 4. Join a walking group or form one with neighbors. 5. Invite someone over for tea or lunch once a week. A simple hearing aid or amplifier can bring you back into the social world and save your brain from silent decline. Tip number 8. Nurture your gut health. How digestion and stroke are secretly linked. What does your digestive system have to do with stroke prevention? More than you think. New science is revealing something fascinating. Your gut health influences your brain health. and even your blood vessels. In fact, your gut is often called the second brain. Why? Because inside your digestive system live trillions of bacteria, collectively known as the gut microbiome. These tiny organisms regulate inflammation, control how blood clots. When the wrong bacteria take over, they trigger a cascade of damage that can lead directly to stroke. Here's how it works. A poor diet, heavy in sugar, fried foods, red meat, and low in fiber, creates an unbalanced gut. Bad bacteria begin to grow. These bacteria produce a chemical called TMAO, short for trimethylamine N-oxide. And TMAO does two things. It makes your blood clot more easily. It inflames blood vessel linings. A poor diet, heavy in sugar, fried foods, red meat, and low in fiber, creates an unbalanced gut. Bad bacteria begin to grow. Tip number 9. Challenge your brain daily. How mental exercise shields you from stroke and cognitive decline. When we talk about stroke prevention, we focus on the heart, the arteries, and blood pressure. But there's one organ that not only suffers the most from a stroke, but can also help prevent it. That's your brain. And your brain is just like any other part of your body. If you don't use it, you lose it. Studies show that seniors who regularly challenge their brains lower their risk of stroke, recover faster if a stroke does happen, maintain better memory and coordination. The brain is a muscle, and like any muscle, it thrives on daily use. Mental activity isn't just fun, it's neuroprotection. Your brain has the ability to change, grow, and reorganize itself, even in your 70s, 80s, and beyond. This ability is called neuroplasticity. So when the brain is sharper, your entire body functions better, especially your circulatory system. That means mental exercise doesn't just make you smarter. It makes you stronger, calmer, and more resistant to stroke. And just like that, we've reached the end of this powerful journey. 9 simple habits, each one a small step, but together they form a life-saving blueprint to protect your brain, your independence, and your future. These habits aren't complicated. They're not expensive. They don't require perfection. But when done consistently, they can change your life. You now have the tools. You now have the knowledge. And you now have the power to protect yourself and those you love from one of the leading causes of disability worldwide. Because prevention isn't a pill. It's a daily choice. This isn't the end. It's your new beginning. Stay well, stay strong, and stay with us.